Yo, what's up? It's your boy Currency 365. Hope you guys are doing well. Legends never die, they stay in our hearts. If you want to support us, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also you can come down here and hit the join button under the video or in our channel section. And you can also join our Patreon, patreon.com/currency365. And we also have Cash App and also PayPal for support if you want to sow some seeds. Peace out. God bless. Enjoy the video and keep the movement going. Legends. Bye.
I'd like to take a look at what I think was the most important prophecy for 2016. Now, we've had some amazing prophecies from a lot of the prophets, but the one that made to me was the biggest difference in the world today was one by Steve Schultz.
2016.
Yeah, I think this is the most important prophecy for 2016. It was made in 2015. And Steve Schultz wrote this: "I am releasing the whistleblowers." He said, "This week I saw a football team that looked more like a football field that looked more like a college field with the bleachers on only one side of the field. Both teams were playing on the left and the right. As the teams played, all seemed normal. From time to time, the refs would throw down a penalty flag as one team or the other was caught in an infraction of both the letter and spirit of the rules. The crowd watching had no inkling of that much more was going on, which was illegal or improper within the game, but the refs would only call the normal or rare penalty. On the opposite side of the field was a large rectangular plain brown building with no apparent reason for it being there. Suddenly the door was quickly opened and a man in a business suit and a nicely dressed woman came running out onto the field during the game. Each threw a penalty flag down and blew a loud whistle. The field refs were confused, as was the crowd. These trespassers were ushered off the field by security and the game proceeded. Suddenly a large door opened in the same brown building and 4 or 5 people dressed in various ways, from a plumber and a baker to a doctor and nurse, ran out onto the field in the middle of the game, throwing down penalty flags and all blowing whistles at the same time. Finally, they too were cleared and the game continued one last time until suddenly multiple doors were flung open from the brown building and hundreds of men, women, and children ran onto the field, throwing down penalty flags and blowing whistles. The sound was deafening. The game had been overwhelmed and had to be canceled. The official refs were left clueless as to what to do. Their day was finished as well. Their own game was over. What the Spirit is saying. I heard the Spirit say, "I am releasing the whistleblowers throughout the earth. Prepare, for everything hidden will be revealed." Then the Spirit began to lay out God's plan. He is going to release the whistleblowers. First a few at a time and then more, and finally a massive release of whistleblowers will be released on the earth, such that the hidden corruption many are playing with, from the average house to the church house, from the state house to the White House, will be revealed to all. I knew in my spirit that since the whistleblowers are being released, this is a good time for each of us to walk circumspectly, living a life of repentance, being faithful in all small things, because God's about to blow his whistle and release the whistleblowers and end this game. And so what did we have? We had the whistleblowers, Julian Assange, Edward Snowden, etc., all kinds of blogs and Zero Hedge and Fox News and everybody, Breitbart, everybody began blowing the whistle. And what happened was emails from the DNC, from Hillary Clinton were released, all kinds of stuff. Things were exposed. And what did that do? That changed the election. We got Donald Trump in office. The whistleblowers blew. And what did we do? In the church, we prayed. We prayed and we blessed the whistleblowers. And because why? The normal whistleblower is just assassinated or either physically or spiritually. They usually do something like load his computer up with child pornography, whatever this whistleblower happens to be. They do everything they can. He will have an unexplained donation of $400,000 appear in his checking account, etc. All kinds of stuff will be done that he didn't pay taxes on, and he never, all these things will happen. They take down the whistleblowers from behind. They destroy their reputation and all of that. And so and so we need to continue to pray for these people. But there's been some really hard-nosed people who've been able to stand up to this. Can you imagine Julian Assange
that guy's pale, man.
is still functioning and still operating, even with the biggest boys in the world trying to take him down. Now, he has had, I think it's 4 close associates have died, and it appears like 2 of his lawyers have been assassinated at different times. So you have to continue to pray for them, but he is still functioning, and he's doing a good job, and he just made a long presentation on Sean Hannity's program. So I just wanted you to look at that the whistleblowers are blowing their whistles.
How about Sergeant Manning?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Manning, Julian Assange has just come out and said that if Obama will commute Manning's sentence,
Yeah.
that he will turn himself in.
Yeah.
Why? Because Manning was the one that got him started with the first batch of things, and now Manning has gone through a sex change operation and all kinds of other things that have gone on.
He fits right in.
And people just look at that. They don't know that maybe he was drugged that caused these kinds of things to happen.
Really?
So, these are kinds of things you don't know about, or whether he's just confused about his identity, sexual identity.
But what changed the game was when stopped the game was when everybody came out onto the field.
Yeah, and this is the
not
thing.
just a couple, but everybody.
And everybody came onto the field when at the election.
Yes.
That's when
That's
everybody came onto the field, and that's when they started throwing down their penalty flags. And what did the news say? There's fake news. You guys are believing fake news. It's all fake news. It's not true. It's fake news. So you see that to me was the most powerful prophetic word. Now people prophesied good things and this happening and that happening, but that was something that changed the world. That literally changed the world. And so we need to honor Steve Schultz and Elijah List and what they have done and all of that. Now, one of the things is Neville Johnson just came out with a recent publication, and we're going to take a look at. Let me see if I will get this to work. We're going to take a look at what he's forecasting for 2017 as we look at a couple of different voices. First of all, he says the nations are going to realign. He says there is a great shift and a realigning of the nations. The goat nations are realigning and starting to separate from the sheep nations. So we have a great separation going on right now that we can see happening. The goat nations and the sheep nations are realigning. And that is very true. That just witnesses with me. And there's a realignment in the monetary system. He says, there is a shifting and realignment of the world's monetary systems, which will be a trigger for the true Joseph ministries to arise with an enormous transfer of wealth, which will birth a new kingdom economy in direct opposition to the Antichrist system. That's exactly what I believe the Lord is doing. That's what we're trying to do. That's what's in my spirit. Now he prophesies it, that this kind of thing is what's going to be happening. That we have the new Joseph ministries, and there's an enormous transfer of wealth, and there's going to be a new kingdom economy, and there's going to be in direct opposition to the Antichrist system. So I think we are in that. We are ready to bring that to pass, and we're seeing that. I know that Kingdom Talents and Paul here and what they're doing, they are part of founding this new alternative system. We're a part of founding that new alternative system. And so let's see if I can go. Let's go back over here. There's going to be a shift in power at the UN. In this new season, we're going to see a real shift in power. Power struggles among leadership and governments and nations will escalate. there will be a struggle in the UN as Barack Obama seeks to hold the controlling position at the UN. He, along with the Clintons, will try to manipulate the situation in order to gain a controlling influence in the United Nations. We've talked about that. Barack Obama is not gone. He is not finished. He is going to have a major position in the United Nations. If we have been able to stop him from implementing the North American Union, then he's going to move to the United Nations. And the Clintons are going to be right there with him as well in it. And these two factions are going to be the leading factions in the United Nations. Yes.
I just want to say he seeks to do it.
Yes.
But God. I just believe
God,
we
yes.
can.
Yeah,
We would rise up.
Yes.
Lord, we need to pray.
Yes. Okay. Take a look at that shift in power at the United Nations. And what are we looking at? We're looking at Donald Trump and the Republican Congress saying we are going to defund the United Nations. You know, and that is exactly what we need to do. There's a new world order. There is a forming of one world government headed by the European Union and the United Nations. Both Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama will seek to manipulate the UN in order to gain influence, seeking to establish their agenda. The present Pope will also be a major player in this.
Yeah, he is.
And he is already. And then there's going to be a sevenfold power increase. God is about to empower the true church with such authority that has never been seen in the church, eclipsing even what the early church experienced. In fact, 7 times greater. This is what he's prophesying in this particular time. And so we see the general trends. And so the United States pays the big majority of all the fees to the United Nations, not just for ourselves but other nations. Some we pay directly outright, and others we just pay them foreign aid so that then they can use that foreign aid to pay their fees at the United Nations. What we have to do, this is the United Nations is turning into the Antichrist, anti-Israel conglomerate in the world. This is where it's going, and it's going to unite with Europe in doing that. The United Nations and Europe. Europe is the home of where the Antichrist will appear.
So
Yes.
Isn't Europe kind of fractionalizing at the moment?
Yes.
Okay. So it's going to
it's-
coalesce again?
There's going to be a strong leader that's going to show up in Europe. Yes.
Again, when you talk about the Pope aligning, I believe there's going to be a real division within the Catholic Church,
Yeah.
because the
Yeah.
two polar extremes are so
Yes.
hell-bent
Yes.
on
Yes.
holding on to that power and the struggle of the papacy. And there will be a great shift, because there are tremendous people, would be the conservative Orthodox, and they're the
Yeah.
very wide liberal of a Jesuit
Yeah.
order.
Yeah. No, there's going to be a big split in the Catholic Church, but there's going to be a big revival there too. Yes.
I don't know if you heard this, but I think at the conference before, the Harvest Conference or whatever, Bobby Connors said that there would be an earthquake in Europe that would drop off the bottom part
Yeah.
of Italy's boot,
Yes.
and that people would flee the Catholic Church.
Yeah. What we've seen is different prophets have seen different things. Bob Jones said 100 million Catholics are going to come fully all the way across into the baptism of the Spirit,
Thank you, Lord.
loving God, and all that kind of thing. What Rick Joyner said in his book in 1989 was he saw a nation in the Mediterranean that was going to have so many earthquakes and so many volcanoes that the nation would essentially be uninhabitable. That is Italy. When Bobby Connors says he saw the boot drop off of Italy in a prophetic thing, I believe that's happening. We see these earthquakes happening, and I see the many of these wonderful buildings falling down. And because I did structural engineering all those years, I look at them. They're unreinforced masonry buildings, and many of them are 600 years old, 400 years old, this kind of thing. And I'm amazed that they have stood this long. you know, because that's an earthquake region. But now those buildings no longer can take the shaking. Those old grand places that are now tourist centers, you know, that are all going to be coming down, it looks like. So we need to pray for them, but it looks like that is actually coming as a part of what's going on. Now, the other thing that's happening is Zero Hedge asks now, is Pope Francis now an international monetary guru? And the reason he says that is in an 18-page document issued through the Vatican's Office of Justice Peace, Bergoglio has called for, among other repressive and wealth-destructive measures, the establishment of a supranational monetary authority to oversee international monetary affairs. We won't go into the whole article, but basically they're getting behind one world currency. This is the one world currency. The Pope is doing that because it'll be, they think it will be fairer for poor people.
Ken,
And it will stabilize the world economy.
go ahead.
Now, do you think that they themselves are deceived, thinking they do something good, not knowing that they actually?
That might be the case. That's very good point.
But Ken, you do have other voices in Italy. You are,
Yes, and there are other voices in Italy. Italy is about to follow the Brexit, and Spain is about to get involved as well. We'll go through some of that in a little bit when we get to our timelines. Let's talk about some predictions for this coming year. What would be something that we would anticipate would be some good investments? Well, first of all, we have. I think what's going to happen is we're going to have good and bad. We're going to have many of our companies coming into fruition and accomplishing, and they'll have other things that are going down. So one of the first things that I would say is short China and FXP. If you short China, oops, no internet. Did we lose internet?
It's my experience in this building that the internet signals come and go, so you might, maybe
Yeah.
a refresh will help.
Ken, I've got it on my phone if you want that. Ken, I've got it on my phone if you want that.
Okay. I wanted to show it, but wonder why we lost our internet connection. We'll just continue to record. But basically, let me put it on the board. The first thing would be short China. Now, the reason is because China's had such fast growth, explosive growth, and that is the FXP. The likely trend is down for China, and so if China goes down, the FXP goes up, and it's a two times ETF on shorting China. So look at that. The next is I think you could short Europe. And Europe is EWV, to short Europe, or in the EUO. So basically, the EUO shorts the euro, this shorts the economy in Europe. You can invest, go long in both those, just buy those, they're ETFs. The next thing that is happening is right now we have an incredible battle going on where it appears that the deep state, the New World Order, wants war with Russia. They do not want appeasement. They want Cold War, semi-war. They don't really want a hot war, but they want some kind of war with Russia. And so what we with that, and they're trying to preempt Trump coming into office and making peace with Russia So this administration is trying to create war with Russia before
Yes,
Trump
they
gets
are.
into office.
For sure.
That's their goal, and they're pushing very hard to do that. So if I think Trump is going to be successful, so we go along Russia, and that is the RSX. So if you want to invest in Russia, you go with the RSX. Do we have any? Are we up on anything?
I can't get on with it.
Okay. Let's take a look at. Let's take a look at volatility. We go long volatility, which is the VIXY, which I would, which is, we look at that, China as a currency manipulator. You can do all these different things. These are things that we can look at and consider that at the right time you might look for an indicator, such as some kind of momentum indicator. This is the time to get in. You don't want to try and hit the bottom. You want to try and get it after its turn. Things are beginning to happen. You don't want so to take a look at those. Let's take a look here for a moment at our. We're taking first of all a look. Hi everyone. This is Ken Storey. I'd like to take a minute or two to tell you about what our business and ministry is, Investing with Insight. What you are looking at is our website on Facebook. We post here frequently. We have videos and all kinds of interesting articles, prophetic revelation. Let's go over here and take a look at our investingwithinsight.com website. This is where we post a lot of our information. A lot of dreams and revelations are posted here with people, for people. We see what the Lord is saying, and we see how we might be able to invest and protect our families and our businesses at this time. Let's go over here to our, this is our website that we run on Kajabi. This is for our paying members only. And we have, here we post all of our videos, all of our special reports. We have resources and watch lists and special reports. We have our meetings. We have prophetic revelation. We have our top picks of our top stocks, our penny stocks, this kind of thing that the Lord has shown us. And I want you to get an idea, because as a member you'll get you'll have a part of this. Let's go over here. Let's say you joined us. Well, every Saturday morning we have a presentation online. We broadcast online. You can see here we got 2 days and 19 hours to go here before we do our next one. And we have a chat area over here on the right. You can see where people can chat and they can talk back and forth about what's going on, be a part of the community. We have people around the world on several different continents that are all a part of this on Saturday mornings. Then what happens is we also have people who are traders. And so every week I provide, every day I provide a stock list of where you can invest based on where the market is for this particular day, based on our prophetic stocks. As you can see right here, I'm shorting the market. The DUG, I'm shorting energy, the VIXY. This is, I'm saying that there's going to be a lot of volatility in the market, so the VIX will go up. I'm still in Apple. I'm shorting China. I'm going long U.S. Treasuries. I'm shorting gold, silver here, and I'm shorting gold mining companies here. So you can kind of see how we're doing. Right now we're averaging about 66% APR, and we've been doing this for 631 days. So you can kind of trading days. Over here we'll take a look at some of our other resources that we have that would be available to you. We have watch lists, special reports. recommended tools and services, how to invest. We have training classes, 16 basic training class, plus we have an archive of all of our past resources. There's a forum that goes along with it as well. And then over here, I'd like to show you, we have our tweets. Every day we have tweets going out. We tweet out our daily trading, plus all my trades are tweeted out, plus any important articles or important prophetic revelation that's coming out, we tweet that out to everyone. And so, for instance, if you would like to join up with us, what we have here is you just basically go to the store and you can click on becoming a member. And we have it's normally $407 a year for an annual membership, and you get essentially weekly meetings. We do skip once in a while. You can do $47 monthly membership or a $407 annual membership, and we have specials that we're running from time to time, and you can take a look at those specials. So basically, that's what we are. That's who we are, and it's been great talking to you, and we bless you. Hope you will join our prophetic investing community.